It will be Christmas Day. Right now, the frenzy about town and in the country is really heightened.
It's the rush hour for people preparing for the celebration, and it is common to find many engaging in last-minute shopping and traveling. Usually, all of these activities require one thing: money.
Oh, yeah. But how much of it should people spend at this time? Is it a time to have the party of a lifetime, or to judiciously use available resources at a time when many are complaining of an economic crunch? That's the big question. Really big question there. All right. Policy Affairs Analyst Olusegun Elemo is here with us, is joining us on Skype. Segun, it's good to have you join me right now. Merry Christmas to you. What we are trying to do is to make Christmas a 48 hours, so Christmas has started one way or the other.
Early.
But talk to us, yeah, exactly. Now, talk to us basically, what is your assessment of preparation build up to Christmas this year? Would you see it as business as usual, the way it used to be, or there's something unique or different about this year?
Well, if I'm saying that anything is unique about this particular Christmas, I think it's the fact that we're going into a new decade, and then there's so much expectation from people, particularly for those who had so much they wanted to achieve for the last decade and couldn't achieve much. So going to the new decade, I'm sure lots of people will be hopeful to see more improvement in their lives, and I think that's just about the special thing for this particular Christmas.
Okay, it's 2020 next year, which makes it a bit different when you're talking about we just experienced one decade, we're going into another by next year. But looking at the Christmas preparation, a lot of persons have said that you don't have to break the bank to enjoy Christmas. How possible is that?
Yes, certainly you don't have to break the bank to enjoy Christmas, but you also know that a lot of pressure on people. For instance, if you know that the purchasing power of the average Nigerian worker has been reduced for a long time. It's been many years since the last minimum wage was increased, and even right now that we've had the increase in the minimum wage, lots of states have not even started to implement the minimum wage. So you realize that the earning power of the average Nigerian worker, as against what they can purchase right now, is very, very limited. So there's also the issue of the border closure that is, pushing up the price of commodity in the market. So I mean, generally, people cannot afford to buy much with what they have currently. So there is this tendency to exhaust all that you have in terms of what you have gotten as salary for December. Many of the states, I know a few states like Oyo State and a couple of them that have also paid the salary for December. So there's a temptation to exhaust all that you have. But people must also understand that January it's going to be a long month. It's usually always a long month, and that there are a lot of financial responsibility for January. I mean, the children will resume, the schools will do their fees, and a lot of bills. Some even have rents to pay at that particular month of the year. So there needs to be some caution in that.
All right, I like the way Olusegun puts it. There's a temptation to exhaust. Wow.
People say that January has more than 31 days.
No, exactly. That's how it feels.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Segun, the point there is, talk to us in your own understanding or opinion. What is really behind this frenzy, this euphoria, this heightened feeling, this period of time that people are forced to exhaust everything they have? What is behind this frenzy, actually?
Well, it's a celebration time, if you ask me. For instance, many families who have not had the opportunity to celebrate from January to now will want to celebrate. Many people also travel from wherever they've been all through the year to meet their loved ones. So usually it's the time to celebrate, and really, if you ask me, you really want to enjoy this moment with your family, whether the immediate or the extended. So wherever you find yourself at this time, you want to really enjoy, and enjoyment actually involves spending money. Some goes on, some will go on holiday at this time. Some will, travel abroad. Some will. I mean, they must just, even at that little corner that you have, that you must just find a way to enjoy this moment. And if you ask me, it costs money to enjoy. So yeah, it does cost money to enjoy, because if you must spend time with your loved ones, take your kids out, take your spouse somewhere nice, then you have to spend money. But then certainly you have to spend money with caution, because the new year is certainly going to demand some money as well.
Let me leave it at this. It costs money to enjoy. Thank you very much, Olusegun Elemo, for your analysis and opinion on this. People have informally said that January is the longest month in the year. Talk to us from that window, really.
Yes, thank you. I'm particularly happy at the excitement in the studio this morning. I think the joy is also, right there in the studio, and I can see you guys are also enjoying the whole euphoria of the season. But talking about January being the longest month of the year, January, of course, is the same as every other month, except for the fact that it has 31 days. But because of the way people normally spend, towards the year end, so it makes it look as if the month is longer. And one of the reasons why it appears that the month is also longer is the fact that many people are trying to mop up as much revenue they can mop up, whether in schools, whether as regards rent, whether we talk about anything. And also don't forget the fact that businesses also towards the year end exhaust most part of their budget. So coming into the new year, it's always kind of very, very financially difficult to getting back into the new year, especially when you consider the fact that businesses and individuals have to now start to revive their economic activities to getting back into the year in terms of their finances.
But so how do you think Nigerians, for instance, a civil servant can actually judiciously, that's the word now, manage his resources for this season?
I think the easiest way to do that is to look at what is waiting for you in January. When you
know that after you spend all the money, January is staring you in the face.
Suddenly. So for somebody like me now, I'm already thinking the two children I have will go back to school in January. So certainly the school will demand that I pay their fees. So I'm already thinking about that. And then in light of that, I have to now look at what I can spare for the Christmas and for everybody to be happy. But let's not take away the fact that people also have to enjoy themselves. Christmas is primarily focused on the birth of Christ. And when you, even when you're broke, once you hear that maybe your wife gives birth or your grandchildren gives birth, there's that joy that fills your heart, and that joy brings some hope.
Yeah, it's really African. So,
Exactly.
To us about this economic crunch, is there any time that things will really be better for everyone to say, well, I think we're having a great time right now?
Yeah, thank you again for having me. Merry Christmas to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too.
And to everyone across the globe right now. Yes, truly. That statement you just made is relative, because we can't have it all good for everyone at every time. So there will always be issues where some will be up the ladder today and some will be low the ladder tomorrow. But I think the general sentiment right now in the country, especially in us, in our own environment, is that things are a little bit tough. And when you look at all the indices from all angles, so you take it from the border closure, take it from the inflation, take it from unemployment, take it from take it from the earning power of the average civil servant in the country. maybe not just the civil servant, but the average Nigerian worker, whether in the private sector or in the public service. So it's like that. And then we always have it running into a season like Christmas, where everybody wants to enjoy with their families who have traveled both from within the country or from outside the country to enjoy with them. So there will always be the issue of whether they can afford everything they want for this season, but there's also the issue of whether they should save for what is coming ahead.
Okay, but if you look at, it's a season to give and to share love and what you have, especially with the less privileged or with your family members. But when you look at what you would have in January, which some people have said is the longest month of the year, you'd want to save. But how easy is it to save in this season?
Yes, I think the easiest thing to do is to look at what you can spare for the Yuletide and see, of course, what responsibility you have, especially for January as you come into the new year. As you come into the new year, there will be, the demand for whatever you have left, whether you have children or whether you're a young person or whatever it is you're doing. So there will always be the demand for whatever you have left. So what you need to do, of course, whatever it is you have right now to celebrate the Christmas or the New Year or whatever it is you're celebrating, you should also share with people. So you can take from the little you have and share with the few you can, and then save, as much as you can for the new year. I think that's what's most important, that you don't, expend all that you have right now because it's the season of Christmas. Yeah, it's the season of Christmas, and you need to enjoy with your families. You need to enjoy with your friends, your loved ones, and everybody. And you must have a good time because, Christmas is once in a year, and once it comes, it goes, and then you enter the new year, and then work starts again. So what is important is that you spend as little as you can so you can save as much as you can for the new year, because the new year always comes with so much responsibility and demand for money.
All right, Olusegun, it is said that for those who have taken salaries right now, technically January has started. January has started.
So we have like 31 plus.
Certainly.
Like 6
Yes.
I was reading on the social media that the governor had paid as early as the 12th or the 15th of the month, and I paid for the month of March. So, yes, civil servants always want to have, their pay as early as possible. They can plan for the season. And don't take away the fact that, of course, civil servants who have children also want to get their children, out in this period and get them loved and buy things for them and all of that. And I think it's tenable, it's acceptable, it's important they do that. But also, they must understand that you don't come January, looking for money to borrow when you had money in December.
Okay.
So what you need to do is to save up as much as you can right now. You don't have to expend everything. Look at what responsibility you have for January, whether the children's school fees, whether you have to pay rent, whether you have to fix your car, whatever it is you need to do.
Okay, thank you very much, Olusegun Elemo, for your insight into all of this right now.